especially in difficult and trying times where the nations of the world are becoming self-centered, selfish, covetous, and greedy. Thinking about survival of the fittest. Everybody wants to survive. No one is willing to sacrifice and to be selfless. Everyone is thinking about their personal survival. And God said, and I need you to prove to me that you care about what I care about. And we want to examine and look at certain individuals in the Bible, how they demonstrated and proved to God their love for God and the benefits thereof. There are benefits, ladies and gentlemen, in loving God. There are eternal benefits in loving God. You can never go wrong when you prove your love for God and you love what He cares about. You never go wrong. You can be misunderstood and misrepresented. It's just a matter of time. Come with me, please, to John 3:16.
For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son to have everlasting life.
This is a proof of the love of our Creator, that He didn't just love in silence. He wasn't passive about His love. He took action. He did something. He proved. This is the proof of God's love for humanity. That for God so loved and cared for humanity, He gave His best, and He expects the best from you and I, because He gave us His best. It's time for us to demonstrate and prove our love for God and for that which He cares for. If we love Him, irrespective of the difficult times and the uncertain times we find ourselves in, we have to still prove and demonstrate our love for God. 1 Chronicles 29 and the 3rd verse. 1 Chronicles 29 and verse 3.
Moreover, because I have set my affection to the house of my God, I have of my own proper good of gold and silver, which I have given to the house of my God, over and above all that I have prepared for the holy house.
So here was David, a man after God's own heart, and these are some of the qualities that distinguish David, king of Israel, from other kings of Israel. He said, because I have set my affection. What have you set your affection on? Or where is your affection? He said, because I have set my affection, my love, on the house of my God, on the holy things of God, the temple, the ministry. Because I've set my love on the things God cares about. He cares about His church. He cares about souls. He cares about humanity. He said, because I've set my love on the house of my God and on God's business. Jesus, at the age of 12, when his parents went looking for him and they found him in the temple and said, where have you been? We've been looking for you. And Jesus said, I must be about my Father's business. Not about making ends meet. Not about making money to pay my children's school fees or to have a house or a car. All that is great. But beyond all that, Jesus said, I must be about my Father's business. So whatever is your profession in life is just a means to live. But the true thing and purpose of you and I is being about the Father's business. Because you and I will not be judged or defined by our profession. We'll be judged and defined by whether we fulfill our God's given mandate or destiny or not. As long as God is concerned, you and I are not businessmen, women, doctors, lawyers, engineers, or politicians, or whatever. He expects you and I to be about his business. And whatever we do in life is an opportunity given to you and I to serve God. To serve God in that particular area of life where we have opportunity to serve God. And we are serving God as we serve country. We serve God in whatever we do. So if you are a doctor, be an ambassador for Jesus at the hospital. If you are a lawyer, be an ambassador for God. If you are a judge, be an ambassador for God and for truth. Whatever you do, a politician, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do in this life, you must be an ambassador for God, being about the master or your father's business, not about your own business. Even Jesus at the age of 12 understood that he had to be about his father's business. There are 12 years old today who are confused and don't know their purpose in life and what they must be or what they must become. Jesus was not confused about his mandate and purpose and destiny. He clearly understood why he was born and why life was given unto him. As it is said that the greatest discovery in life is the day one discovered the reason for which life was given unto him. You and I are not here by mistake. We are not here by chance nor by accident. We are here by, ladies and gentlemen, divine providence to perform a duty for which we were born and life was given to you and I. There is a duty you and I must perform that none other can perform but you and I. And that is what we will be judged by God when we stand in eternity. And I said there are two eternities. An eternity with Jesus, that has everything to do with serving God and his purpose when we were alive, and an eternity without Jesus. And everything, and these two things have everything to do with how we lived when we were alive and what we did with our life, our time and resources and the opportunity that was given to us, whether we used it for the business of our God or for personal gain. We will be judged by that. The test of love. First John. No, before that, let's come to 1 Kings 3, 3-5. 1 Kings 3, 3-5.
And Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father.
You see, he loved the Lord. Where did he learn that from? From the dad. So children will either love God or not love him based on what they experience from parents as they were growing. Solomon chose to love the Lord, and the other sons of David, like Adonijah and Absalom and others, chose not to love the Lord and walk in the ways of their father like Solomon. But Solomon decided that I will love the Lord even as my father loved the Lord. And the Bible said, David said, because I have set my love or affection on the house of my God, I have of my own goods given and over and above, I have given gold, silver for the things of gold, for silver, for the holy things of the house of God. He did it not out of sympathy, not being manipulated by anyone, but out of love for God. God loves a cheerful giver. Let's do the things we do for God and what God cares about out of love for God. Out of love for God, and not because we are being exploited or manipulated. Go ahead.
And Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. In Gibeon the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, ask what I shall give thee.
You see, he followed his father's step. He loved God because his father taught him how to love God. We must teach our kids how to love the Lord. Some may follow our steps and others may not, but we owe it to them to teach them how to love God, not by saying we love the Lord, by demonstrating and proving it and showing it. It's very important for the next generation to teach them and show them by our actions, how to love the Lord. And the same night, Adonai stepped out of the corridors of eternity and stepped into time to the geographical location where Solomon was, and revealed himself unto him and said, what will thou have me do for you? God responded not just to the 1,000 burnt offering, but to the love that he demonstrated. What he did was a result of love. God wasn't looking at the 1,000 burnt offering. He was looking at the motive behind the 1,000 burnt offering, and it was love. That 1,000 burnt offering was a result of his love for God. And Solomon loved the Lord. Do you love the Lord? And if you love the Lord, even in difficult and trying times like we find ourselves in, your love for God will not grow cold or wax cold. You will still prove it. Come with me to Luke 7:4-5.
And when they came to Jesus, they besought him instantly, saying that he was worthy for whom he should